Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about building up an appointment setter team for your solar business that will actually bring you in appointments on autopilot without you ever having to pay them upfront any money. And you will be only paying for these appointments after they've been able to set by the setter. The setter will be only compensated after he's been able to set up an appointment that you got a chance to close. And in today's video, I would like to share with you the exact steps, the six-step process that actually we use to find new talent, to find new employees, and all the implementations regarding to this process. So this is a super easy process. And what you have to understand is that if you are able to build up a proper team of sellers, then you are able to actually solve your problem of lead generation within the business. And so if you're talking about a solar business, then the biggest thing, the biggest lever moving thing, if you will, so will be sales. Meaning that the more closes you guys can do, the better the more money you can bring in. The more money you can bring in, you already got the idea. Um, and so with that being said, there are two super important, or let's say three super important parts of the business. The very first one is lead generation. The second one would be the lead nurturing, and the third one will be to actually close the deals. And so if you're able to figure out lead generation completely in-house without you actually having to hire an agency, then perhaps that's the best choice that you can do. And not only that, but you would be able to figure out a lead generation source that you only have to pay on commission basis. That's the perfect model. That is what every single business does. Every single big business does. So they have mostly referrals, which is obviously the strongest for the biggest businesses, and they are striving to build up lead generation process, which are commission based. And so this is the basic stone, or I would say the cornerstone of this setup. And so in this super quick drawing, I just want to share with you the exact process that we are using to be able to hire new team members. And not just want to hire new team members, but making sure that the people we are hiring, we are able to train them. We are able to find the best people only, and we are able to pretty much do this process pretty much almost automatically. So this is the idea. In the very first place, this is what we do. We are in the very first place recruiting, meaning that we are pretty much generating the leads from the guys who are actually interested in setting appointments. In the second phase, we have a first qualifying process when we are qualifying their willingness, the expertise, so on and so forth. We have a second qualifying process where we are actually qualifying their understanding of the job, so making sure that they completely understand that, hey, this will be commission-based on the job, and you will have to do this thing and that thing and so on and so forth. So when we come to the fourth step, which will be the hiring, which will completely connected with the interview phase, then we actually have someone who understands the job, who understands the job, who understands that it will be only paid commission based, and so on and so forth. And so from there on, we can go and actually train them. And after we've been able to train them, we can onboard them. But by the way, this part could be completely automated because what we do mostly is we have a training and we are just basically have 6, 7 videos. Sometimes we are updating new videos if we have some problems that we haven't been solving in the past. And so basically the guys can just go through that training. It's like maximum 2 hours. And from there on, they are pretty much all set. They will know how to set up the dialers. And from there on, they will be just pretty much ready to call. And they are just ready to rumble. And so I would like to break down pretty much all the parts over here. So the very first one, the very first step would be recruiting, right? And so what we do in recruiting is we are pretty much looking for Facebook groups, which is full of with appointment setters, full of with closers, and so on and so forth. And so what you're looking for over here is to actually find people who are mostly from the Philippines, mostly from Africa, mostly from Bangladesh, because these are the guys who will be working for you cheap. And by cheap, I mean that they are willing to not only get into the commission-based setup, but they are also willing to work for a super low wage. And so with that being said, they are perhaps the best type of human resources that you can find out there currently. So in step number one, just simply write the job post and just post it on Facebook group. You can also use Fiverr alternatively. You can also use Upwork alternatively. You can use any kind of an HR platform alternatively, but we are finding that Facebook groups are just simply highest volume, obviously not the highest quality, but highest volume and the easiest. From there on, we are just simply putting them in inside our system. Inside our system, we are sending them an email after 24 hours of their application that, hey, brother, congratulations, you made it to round two. And now that we have been able to send them an email too, which goes, hey, you made it to round two. We are also sending them two videos. And so in the two videos, me personally, first, I'm contacting them, so therefore they can get to know me better. And I have two parts of the of this video. So the very first one, I'm introducing them the job. Hey man, like this is what we do. This is how we are. This is what the job will look like. This is a commission-based job. Blah blah blah. And in the second one, I'm giving them free things to do. And so when they are getting those free requirements done, which are pretty much like, hey, you have to write a script for yourself or bring me a script, whatever I need a script from you. I need a live call record from you that I want to actually call the guys and get me a live call record. And after that, I also need you to talk about your staff and tell me why you are the good candidate for the job. And so when we are seeing someone who actually give us requirement number one, requirement number two, and requirement number three, then we can know that we have someone who is willing to actually do the job. And so from there on, by the way, this is only 10% of the applicants. So let's say if you have 100 people that applies, only 10% will convert to here. And this is why it is super important to actually look for the work ethic and look for the willingness. And these are perhaps the two most important aspects that we are looking for when we are hiring appointment setters. Because again, this is not a high skill job. So this is like it's not like an IT person. It's not like I'm looking for a senior IT person out there. No, it's not like that. The idea is that appointment setting could be taught. It's like anyone who has the guts to pick up the phone and can read a script can pretty much do the appointment setting, can pretty much start tomorrow. It's not that big of a problem. It's not like you have to like learn years of years to code and like or years of years to, for example, like architecture to draw and understand physics and all the good stuff. No, it's just like you have a script and you can just pretty much copy and paste. Um, so therefore, the highest, and this is a conversation that I had a client of mine recently that he also told me he's running a 30 member sales team, solar sales team, obviously. And he was like, man, honestly, the number one thing that I'm looking for when I'm hiring is work ethic. And it's just because of the same reason just that I mentioned to you. It's like, man, like this is not rocket science. It's like solar sales is not rocket science. Like you can learn it. It's not that hard. And so, because of that reason, the most important qualifying metric that we're looking for is, um, again, willingness and also work ethic. Okay, so now that we've been able to qualify the guys and we can make sure that they are interested in the job and they are taking this opportunity seriously, then we can actually make them, we are about to make sure that the guys actually understand the job process. And so what would that mean? In qualifying two, in the second qualifying step, what we do is actually we go ahead and we drive them through a series of questions which actually pretty much helps us to make sure that they understand the whole process. So pretty much what we do is after qualifying number one, we are sharing them all of our content out there. Hey, this is how the script will look like. This is how the whole infrastructure would look like. This is how the training looks like. It is free for you, brothers. Like go ahead and check out how we work. And so after we've been able to just come here in qualifier number two, then the guys already got the access. So therefore they can learn the job role, they can learn the daily activities, they can learn all the good stuff, and now they can actually fill the quiz. And so the idea is not that they will be able to memorize all the answers for the questions. By the way, we are asking between 10 to 15 questions, and these are the most important questions. Do you understand that this is a commission-based job? This is question number one, the most important question. Second, what is your daily work? So just describe to me what is your daily work. So now I can, so therefore I can get convinced that you actually understand what we are talking about. And so when they go through, and oh, by the way, we have like a technical question. So, for example, what you say to a homeowner when he is not willing to schedule? Will you let him go? Will you try to schedule for another call, or you will just simply push until you're able to schedule for that time? And so obviously the right answer is the second one. But they have to think and they have to just simply they have to present an understanding in order for them to be able to answer that question accordingly properly. And so after we've been able to go through qualifying number two, then we are able to have someone who's not only interested and willing and has the work ethic, but we can also make sure that he also has the understanding. Because if you also got the understanding, then we can just simply hop on a call with them and it's like, hey man, bro, like you are hired. It's like simple as this. And so here you can see three other parts and three other processes here, but pretty much this is one process for being honest with you. Because after this, what is happening is that we are hopping on a call with them. And so this is the last, this is basically the final call where we are making sure that they actually is who they are. So we can just simply have a face check. And we can double check with the commission basis because that is something that they mostly don't understand. The commission based setup. We're also explaining them the job. We are asking a few other qualifying questions and if they're also good with the interview, then we can just simply go ahead and say that, hey man, now your only job is to go through the training, which by the way consists of the technical setup too, which is by the way most of the times we are using open phone or witchy dial, depending on the campaign, and we are just simply sending them the exact process that hey man, this is how you are supposed to be setting up the actual dialer. This is how you can open up the script. You also have an explanation for the script. So basically, we are just, we're just shooting video and educational content about everything. And from there on, they can just simply have a complete understanding about how the whole process works. And we are pretty much, since we've been doing it for quite a long time now, we have an understanding about the questions. So pretty much all the questions are all answered with all the videos. And from there on, they can the actual system was designed that we can just pretty much onboard them almost automatically. We could also skip this phase too, but I'm not recommending. I've done that, but I'm not recommending that because you need the human connection. You need the face check. They need the face check. It's not like they are robots. It's not that they are robots. They are actual human beings. You actually need to talk with the CEO or the HR person who's about to hire them and so on and so forth. So I'm not recommending to skip this step. But with that being said, we can, in theory, and I've done that, you can just simply go through this whole process automatically. Meaning that if you have the bandwidth, you can actually hire a new appointment setter pretty much every week, or two or three appointment setters. It all depends like how many Facebook groups you can actually uh, use the resources of. And from there on, you can actually have these guys to be on board. And from the point that the guys are actually on board, you have someone who's ready to dial without pretty much having to teach him anything. And so this way, it's not like you have to hop on a call with everyone. You have to go through the process with everyone. No, it's super damn simple, man. It's like you've got a script, you've got a technical setup, you've got an understanding of the script, you've got an understanding of the daily workflow, about the payments, all the good stuff. And your only job now, my brother, my friend, is to just simply pick up the phone and call. And so what we do is mostly we are setting up these guys with a 1 month long trial period. And so basically, with 1 month long trial period, the goal is for them to actually set up an appointment, set up appointments that actually closes. So if they are not able to set enough appointments that will actually close, then we will not be hiring them. And so what I also like to do is that uh, obviously set the incentives in a way where it actually makes sense for them too. So for example, okay, but what is the reward for the next one? And so you can say that, okay, I do understand completely that you guys, so I'm just simply getting paid on a commission basis, but can we do something about it? And so the answer will be yes. Yeah, man. We can set you up with something like 3 hours a day, paid, let's say, bi-weekly, up until the point that you are actually able to schedule up, let's say, 5 appointments every single week. That shows. If you can do that, then we can pay in the front end too. And so this is for actually making sure that you are having the qualified person purposes, if you will. So, and after that, you can vary with those settings and with those payout schedules. But the main idea is that you initially are able to build up a process that actually brings you in appointments on autopilot, and now so you can replicate that. So it's like it's not like, hey man, I failed it. No, you have a whole system. It's like one person didn't work out, okay, next one. And it's like your only job will be to post here, which takes like 10 minutes, and have a hiring call with him, which is like maximum 30 minutes, and also to just onboard them and make sure that they are all good, which is again like maximum another 30 minutes. So it's like 1.5 hour, and you can have like a team member on board who's like completely trained. And I mean like trained, like he can just simply pick up the phone and start working like that trained. So he's like ready to work, kind of a train. Um, and so with that being said, this is the whole process that we use, and it works like just like clockwork. So and you would be surprised. Like there are so many talented people out there who are just like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. And they are just like, man, I need this opportunity. I want to do this thing. I want to go. I want to move. And those guys don't really actually like. I mean, they care about payment because everyone cares about payment, but that's not their biggest priority. They care about learning, and those are your best people. And this is basically how the whole process looks like. I would like to apologize you for these dummy drawings over here, but I didn't really have the time to build up the Lucid chart for this yet. This is coming. This is a project that we will actually get done in the next few weeks. But currently, this is the best. This is the best presentation that I've been able to come up with because I really wanted to convey this information as fast as I possibly can. So this is the exact process how you can build this thing up. By the way, if you need any questions with building up something like this, I'm here to help. You can also schedule a call with me, and we can definitely discuss about building up an appointment setting team for your solar business. And man, like let's rock and roll. Long-term solution will not be third-party lead providers. Long-term solution will be if you're able to build that thing in-house. This is also another idea. Every single time when I'm talking about a client or let's say potential client, sometimes um, I'm always asking everyone, how long have you been in the solar business? And how many lead providers did you work with? How did they work out, so on and so forth? And so I have many people who've been in the industry for 10 years, and the average for those 10 years is that they they worked with about like 20 solar equipment providers or solar lead providers, call it however you would like it. And most of them are like, man, the best companies that we've been able to work with were like 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, yeah. And then what happened? They suddenly dropped quality. They moved. They had to close down, but like something happened. So with that being said, your job is to think long term. Your job is to not always have to look for lead providers because and I don't want to talk against ourselves. Honestly, we are not so long in the business yet either. So it's like we are 13 months in the business. Like hell knows where we will be in 5 years. And don't get me wrong, the plans is that we'll be solving bigger problems in solar business. Highly likely we will not be only appointment setter and um, uh, hiring the setters and hiring the closers, but we'll also be able to solve bigger problems. So we would like to move towards building up an infrastructure that you guys can actually leverage upon. But the idea is that maybe we will not be in the appointment setting business anymore. Who knows? And statistically, we will not be because maybe we'll find a bigger opportunity, uh, or it turns out that we, you know, just something different is going on. So with that being said, the idea is that you have to build this thing up for yourself in-house. So if you would like to do big business, then it will take a lot of time because it takes a lot of time to build big shit. And so in order for you to build big shit, you have to actually build this thing. You have to build up and figure out lead generation. Either this month, either next month, but in the long run, in the 10 years term, you have to figure this thing out. And so why to pay to a lead provider all the time? Just simply do the math. Suppose that you have a team that actually sets you up the appointment. Let's say go with three. This is, by the way, what we do most of the time. So it's like go with three appointment setters. If you're able to go with free appointment setters, then the averages will be about 2 to 4 appointments, depending on the actual data, the location, and also the appointment setters per week per setter. So that would be between 6 to 12 appointments set per week. That would be between 24. Yeah, let's these are pretty much like numbers. So between 25 to 40 appointments, and from that 25 to 40 appointments, you will be actually able to close between 8 to 12 closes. And so if you're thinking about it, like you're not spending any money up front for that, and you're just only paying them on the back end. Obviously, you can set up an incentive structure that I was just talking about, that you are also paying them in the front end, so therefore they will be more motivated. But that's another thing. The idea is still the same. It's like you got the math. It's like if you're only calculating with 5K per close, then if we are super conservative, then with 5 closes, excuse me, with 8 closes, the 5K is like 40K, and that's like a system that ran automatically. And in the 5K, I also calculated in the actual payouts for the sellers. And if your sellers do a good job and if you're able to manage them properly, then actually you can also pay them and pay them more, and they will be happier and they'll be working better. And you can build up teams and team leaders and so on and so forth. The same thing that you can also do with your closer team, which is another topic that I've been also talking about in a different video. But you got the idea. Sooner or later, you have to build up your lead generation, whether it be with digital marketing, whether it be with appointment setters. You have to figure this thing out, brother. You must. If you really want to get into this business and you really want to get rich with this business, you have to figure this part out. I'm not saying that this is the best solution. Maybe you find that, for example, you can go better with digital marketing, but you have to figure out this way. And so, with that being said, the core idea is that just build up this thing. It's like period. Like you have to. You have to. If not today, then in a year. But you have to go through this, and the sooner the better. So with that being said, we are here to help. If you've got any questions, I'm waiting for that in the comments. And have a good one.